I'd rather
I was about to say a
have a
rant,
rant
but
on Child's Play remake. I think I'll have more fun with that one.
you know what? No, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the
leave
episode.
Leave it to the movie.
Yeah. Welcome back, followers, to the Complete Guide to Horror podcast. Today, we're talking about Cult of Chucky, the sequel to 2013's Curse of Chucky, in which Andy Barclay has been torturing the disembodied head of Chucky for 4 years. Meanwhile, wheelchair-bound Nica Pierce from the previous movie has been in a mental institution after being framed by Chucky for the murders of her family.
That's not no dog. That's family. Hey, cousin.
Nica now believes she was responsible for those murders and that Chucky was simply a manifestation of her psychosis. Dr. Foley, Nica's doctor, has her transferred to a medium security psychiatric hospital. Andy learns about the murders and realizes Chucky has somehow managed to transfer his soul into multiple bodies at once. So it feels very much like Harry Potter with the Horcruxes, but, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, didn't really care for it. I would rather just leave this for Coop to have a bit of a rant on, I think. But yeah, it to be honest, it reminds me of the whole Seed and Bride of Chucky type brother sister movie, and this reminds me of Curse and Cult, a brother sister movie. And I feel like this is much like Seed and Chucky in the realm that, again, I feel like this is a filler movie, but yeah, rather forgettable, and it loses me in the end. It just gets a bit irritating. The plot just kind of jumps all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I do enjoy this movie, you're not wrong either. Also, like, I mean, of the Don Mancini Chucky movies, of basically the Chucky movies, apart from the piece of crap we'll be talking about after this, it's probably my least favorite. When I rewatched it recently, I did enjoy it a lot more and noticed more things about it than I did the first time I watched it. Because I think I watched it the first time and I was like, I think I was a bit annoyed at the fact that after Curse of Chucky, which was like a return to form, that it immediately sort of went back to sort of silly territory with a lot of the stuff. But I thought that the characters within the mental asylum, I thought they were really good characters. I liked the idea of, like, Nica gets there, hits it off with this guy, and then realizes he's just one of several personalities.
I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom, as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time on it, because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
You've got the one that's, killed her baby but is like obsessed with the doll, and there's all these different things going on with all these characters, which I reckon drew me in a lot more than I thought I would have maybe the first time I watched it. Of course, you've got the fact that you've got Tiffany coming in, and it actually being pointed out, like, has anyone ever told you look just like Jennifer Tilly?
You're Alice's guardian?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but you seem really familiar. Did anyone ever tell you look exactly like Jennifer Tilly?
Yeah, I get that a lot. You're not quite what I expected either.
What did you expect?
Somebody taller. You don't seem very dangerous.
You don't seem very motherly.
Huh.
They play right into that. I quite liked the line of one of the Chuckies says something like, bloody cuckoo's nest. And Brad Dourif was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I thought was a pretty good nod to that movie. But yeah, it is very silly. I think the Chucky dolls themselves don't look quite right in this movie. I feel like, and apparently this was something that Don Mancini wanted to do for a long time, was introduce the idea of multiple Chuckies, but he said budget restraints were an issue. I kind of feel like they still were on this movie. I feel like if they had more time and maybe a higher budget with the special effects and the puppeteering, they could have done more with it. But they just kind of had like a couple of, one really brutal murder, and then, the Chuckies riffing with each other, which, yes, is funny, but like it was literally just in the last 10 minutes of the movie, which is kind of a bit of a downfall. But I guess it is sort of made up for it with the idea of, some of these other characters and how they interact, and fucked up Mr. Foley character and all that kind of shit. But it is a very silly movie, and way different from Curse. And yeah, definitely not my favorite, but I did thoroughly enjoy it. Still had a good time with it.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm glad. I'm actually very glad that you brought up the fact that the Chucky dolls do not look right in some aspects, because I remember seeing the poster for Cult of Chucky and thinking, there's something off about the way Chucky looks in this one. I don't know what it is, but then actually watching the movie, I was like, maybe it's going to be another plot point. Maybe it's going to be another reveal, like the prosthetics with Curse of Chucky or something. But no, it's just something about it that feels very, I don't want to say student-made, but it feels like they were promised a larger budget, and then what was delivered, they were just like, fuck, we can't cut anything because it's all pivotal to the story, so we'll just have to do cheaper prosthetics, cheaper dolls, cheaper puppeteers, and see what we can do with that one. Funnily enough, I've always said that, I would welcome a return to like the horror comedy, what the fuck? I can't even talk properly.
Like a bit of horror comedy.
I like that. That's the new genre, the new hybrid genre. Yeah.
The
new horror, comedy.
If someone steals that, I just want people to know I trademarked that first. No, but with the horror comedy stylings of Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, I always thought, I wonder what a movie like that would be like in 2017. And yeah, I gotta say, I wasn't too much of a fan. I always feel like Chucky movies work best when it's straight, flat out horror with like tinges of comedy, something that Curse of Chucky did very well. But I wasn't too crazy about it. I thought the return of Andy was good. I don't know. I feel like maybe it could have been a bit more focused on Andy, but at the same time, they do have to keep up with the storyline of what happened with Nica. Otherwise, the Curse of Chucky remains a bit of a throwaway film, but I don't know if it was really explored that well. And yeah, we do see Tiffany back in this movie too, but I don't know. I kind of didn't care for her, even though I am a huge Jennifer Tilly fan. Yeah. But yeah, I got to say, I didn't have any particularly favorite parts of the movie. Didn't have any least favorite parts.
I don't like it. No, I don't. Never did. I don't like it. I don't like anything.
There were two scenes that two areas of the film that frustrated me. There's one scene where the office is facing the wall and not the hallway, which I don't really understand in this day and age. I think that's just purely made for the film, but it just frustrated me that she's sitting there on her computer typing and then Chucky comes into the drawers and steals the knife or whatever it is and walks away. And the other scene, which reminded me of Final Destination 5, was when the lady's on the operating bed and the glass roof is above her, and then it caves in. I literally thought of Final Destination 5 because I was like, one, who puts an operating bed under a window in the ceiling? I just thought there were two scenes. I know it's made for the movie, but it just frustrated me that was kind of, the way they did that.
Fair enough. Coop, did you have any favorite parts or least favorite parts of Cult of Chucky?
I mean, I like all the shit with Andy and the disembodied Chucky head, and the only Chucky in the movie that looks like Chucky. So yeah, having Andy back in it and the idea that he's just been, getting his sweet revenge on this severed head.
You want to
Barclay?
There's that little bit of footage of him trying to show Nica's psychiatrist that, oh, Chucky's real, and he's like using a stapler, like a staple gun.
And now Rob Schneider is a stapler. And he's about to find out that being a stapler is harder than it looks.
And like Chucky's shrieking every time he does it, but it's like, yes, very, very cool special effects, very well done, but like, that's nice. So it's just like, fucking hell, Andy Barclay's just had such a shit life and continues to. So I like all that shit. Least favorite part, I don't know. I guess the overall execution is probably the main issue with this movie.
Yeah.
It feels rushed. It feels like they had budget restraints, and it just, I don't feel like it is what it could have been. And there's some cool shit they could have done with it, but they didn't quite pull it off, unfortunately. So,
limited amount of time to construct these looks, paint our faces, prepare.
I hear you, girl. Everyone gets the same amount of time. Use it better, maybe.
Just to touch base, because I always try to find like a good part about a movie and whatnot. For me, I actually watched this on YouTube the other day. I jumped where it's a part at the start where Andy's feeding the severed Chucky doll head, and then Chucky just goes like scares him.
Yeah.
I fucking jumped. I completely forgot about that part. And then as revenge, Andy gets the blowtorch and starts like fucking frying his head and whatnot. And I was like, that's pretty cool. But also that did scare me. I was like, wasn't expecting it. I should have known something was going to happen because, it's a part where the music fades out. So, there's going to be some kind of jump scare. But yeah, still maybe jump. In terms of it being a good concept for a sequel, I don't know if it actually is. But at the same time, I don't know a different way they could have written this one because they have to tie in some kind of story to Curse of Chucky. But I know that because of that post-credit scene from Curse of Chucky as well with Andy, they wanted to involve his character back somehow as some kind of legacy character. And, this is 2017 before even Halloween 2018 was released. So it was kind of like the first movie in the horror genre to bring back a legacy character, go back to its roots. Mindy states it in Scream 5 where she's like,
it always goes back to the original.
I think it could have had a different storyline. I like the parts where it was Andy with the severed head, but then the mental institution, Tiffany coming back, I don't know. I don't really care for it. Coop, did you have any thoughts?
I'm not into the idea of multiple Chuckies. I'll say it straight off the bat. It's not. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's silly. And it sort of falls into the realm of, I don't know what realm, but just silliness. So I don't like the idea of Cult of Chucky in general. So that's kind of just like an annoying thing for me. I kind of feel bad in this movie, Fiona Dourif, because I think she does such a good job of this character. And then she's got to play this character in Cult, which it just gets really, really silly. So yeah, the overall idea of there's all these Chuckies, and then I guess towards the end of the movie you get to see that she's both Tiffany's both in Jennifer Tilly, and there's also a Tiffany doll as well. And it's just like, okay, it's like the end of a Goosebumps episode, and it's just not what I watch my Chucky movies for. So, yeah.
I also thought it was kind of like confusing the fact that it is their souls in both the doll and the real person. I don't know why. To me, it should open a door where it's like, oh, they're completely unkillable now. They're like the Voldemorts now of this franchise, but instead I'm just like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you go, BP.
Just touching base on a positive, I did actually think of it when you guys were talking. There's a scene where I don't know who Chucky's going to go kill, but he bumped into the lady that sees the ghost, or she's the ghost in the facility. And she keeps yabbering onto Chucky. And then Chucky's like, lady, you weren't on my list next, but now you are. He's like, I'm coming back to get you. He's like, yeah, that's just really funny. I laughed at that thing, actually. He's like, can you see me?
I do. Yeah, that did remind me that I do like the idea of how Nica was going to kill herself. And then, Chucky actually stitches her up and then does exactly what Nica was going to do to herself to that old woman that was thought she was a ghost. I reckon that's evil. So that's a cool idea. And that, again, another problem with this movie is there's some cool ideas and shit in there, but it's just kind of ruined by the overall silliness of all the multiple Chuckies are coming to get you. And,
Wait, we weren't in the Hamptons this weekend.
Oh no! We've been cloned!
Again, similar to Curse of Chucky, I didn't know was that there is a post-credit scene with Andy's foster sister from Child's Play 2. So I completely forgot her name, by the way. But Kyle. I knew it was like some Monster energy drink name, but yeah, we find that you know those memes where it's like Kyle
punching holes in the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's a post-credit scene where Andy calls up his foster sister Kyle, and she comes in to torture the severed head version of Chucky as well. And for me, it didn't click that it was the foster sister, even though they show like the shot of Andy and his foster sister in the photo frame. You know, it's who else would it be? Like, yeah, it could be Andy's girlfriend, but you know, there's been no mention of it or anything like that. But yeah, seeing Kyle again, I don't know if it necessarily made me excited per se, because I was a little bit worn down by like this Cult of Chucky dolls, like this whole Horcrux Harry Potter ripoff. But yeah, what did you think about that scene, Coop?
I haven't actually seen it. I literally have read it as we're going through here. So like, that's crazy to me. I mean, it doesn't shock me because I've seen the TV series, so I know that there is involvement with Kyle coming back. But no, I didn't know that there was a post-credit scene. I think I think both times I watched this movie, I was kind of like, I'm just going to turn it off now.
Wrap it up.
So, yeah.
BP, did you have any thoughts?
I don't think I ever saw that scene either. I think by the end I was sort of watching my watch count down the minutes and looking at the time remaining at that point. And so I was like, I don't think I saw it. So I don't really care at this point.
Fair enough.
What the fuck is up, Kyle? No, what did you say, dude? What the fuck, dude? Step the fuck up, Kyle.
For me, the post-credit scene doesn't necessarily make me want to watch a future installment. I know that there may have been talks about, especially when the remake was announced and everything, there was going to be like a subsequent sequel to Cult of Chucky being released in a similar time frame as the remake, as a bit of a fuck you from Don Mancini and the filmmakers to the movie studio that had, announced a remake without any involvement from the original Child's Play team and whatnot. But then it emerged that they were developing the TV series. I'll be honest, even I was hyped for the TV series, but not because of Cult of Chucky. I think I was more hyped around the fact that, hey, there's, you know, anywhere between 6 to 12 episodes where we get an expanded lore and expanded mythology on Chucky itself. But yeah, I was a little disappointed by Cult of Chucky, I won't lie. Likewise, my least favorite entry into the series. Coop, did you have any thoughts? Like, would Cult of Chucky make you hyped for the sequel TV series or nah?
Not that in and of itself, absolutely not. I mean, I am, a big Chucky stan and all that shit. So anything that's coming out, I'm going to watch it, no matter how bad it is, and that includes a certain remake we'll discuss. It's impending. It's coming. listeners, we're going to tear that thing apart. But no, not Cult of Chucky in and of itself would make me want to watch the TV show. I think that sort of just comes from the love of the franchise altogether.
Yeah. BP, same question.
Yeah, I'm the same with Coop. After watching Cult of Chucky, it's kind of a bit of a turn off. But I think also TV show is quite good. We'll talk about that further. But I think watching previous spin-off movie franchises going into a TV show screen, I know you did last time, I did that hesitant here as well. But yeah, Cult of Chucky, it's interesting that you said, Justin, that they were kind of tinkering with a sequel, because when you think about it, it's sort of chucked everyone they can back into the Cult of Chucky, which makes me think maybe they thought this was the last hurrah and that they may get picked up for another sequel. So they were kind of like, fuck it, let's put everyone into it. We chucked everyone back into it, and that's how it is.
Next thing you know, they'll bring back Redman, John Waters, random people from Bride of Chucky. They're like, you know what? Let's bring back everyone that ever died.
They'll do a CGI face of John Ritter from Beyond the Grave.
Oh my God.
Something like that, just saying hi to some old ghost, you know.
Thank you both for joining me again today.
Absolute pleasure.
And listeners, in our next episode, we finally talk shit on the Child's Play remake, starring the amazing Aubrey Plaza, the only diamond in this steaming pile of absolute shit.
So, what can I get you? Is there anywhere you don't work? They're called jobs, something a ball like you wouldn't know anything about. And by the way, I can't believe you asked Ramona out after I specifically told you not to do that. How are you doing that with your mouth? Never mind how I'm doing it.
Like, comment, share, yada, yada, yada. If you hated this episode, honestly, just wait till the next one. Jesus Christ. Bye.